The rest is gonna be Madison and Conway.
Yeah, Rock House. Pretty
Rock
much,
House.
yeah. Conway's pretty much done all they can do at this point. They just got done cleaning all their check dams out, and they were gonna go in soon and do the cleaning of the pits that they put in. That system works pretty slick, I'll tell you, but once again, I mean, that's a soup to nuts scenario. We're not looking to do that. We're not looking to get it to pave, because it would never happen up there.
That was a huge project, but boy, they did a good job.
They did a nice job, very nice job, yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, from our perspective, this particular board, we're very focused on drainage to protect our roads. And obviously, we have a small budget, so we need to, we're looking at really trying to refine how we track that. So I don't think this is going to be too onerous to figure out from our line, however distance, you know, the machine hours and the labor hours.
Okay.
To give to you folks. So I guess the key is when, just tell us when you get the, you know, the green light for this grant.
Yeah, well, like I said, the process would be,
They want us to
if we make it to the final,
commit.
Yeah,
if
no,
we
no.
make it to the final application, that's in December.
Yeah.
And they'll notify within a month, I think, of who gets the grants at that point.
Right, but it's from that time forward is
It's
when
from
you
that
start
time.
needing the
Once
information.
they say you have the grant, it's from that moment forward. Yep.
Okay,
And we're gonna do it over I think we've talked about doing that over a 3-year period instead of a 1-year period, because we're afraid of trying to compress everything into 1 year and then not making it, and which alleviates everything for everybody as far as, you know, if you've spent $2,000 this year and $2,000 next year, that's great, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, the worst thing you wanna do is run up against the
They told us.
deadline of the grant.
We've been there.
We've been there.
She said that the paperwork gets nasty when that happens. So
It does.
We said we don't want to get into that.
It does.
Okay, all right, so that's what we're looking for.
okay. Well, I've never actually done a physical count, but I'm gonna ballpark it here, and I'm gonna say at least, or close to 50% of the homes on Big P Portage Pond are in Eidelweiss. Do you know?
It would be, well, if Island
On the
Drive,
other side.
Island Drive is considered Madison, you said?
Yes.
Okay, but the other side of Island Drive is Eidelweiss, I mean, all Island Drive is Madison?
Yes.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean.
Maybe it's 40,
half is
maybe it's
probably
40%,
close.
but close. It approaches 50%.
Yeah, probably close.
We got a number of
I
homes.
think there's 80 homes around the pond, I think, roughly, so yeah, probably.
Yeah, but the ones that are in Eidelweiss are on the other side of the pond.
Correct,
Not the
opposite
Conway side.
ragged codes,
Oh.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I understand that,
see.
but the point is, this
Right,
stuff
we're not
affects
talking-
the entire pond.
It's not gonna affect, this grant, I
Correct.
don't think is gonna affect Deesbach or any of the ones that are on Big P from the Eidelweiss side.
Right,
So it's really only gonna be Eidelweiss Drive
correct.
Yeah.
that, you know, that the district will be dealing with
Paperwork.
as far as
Yep.
paperwork goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just thinking in terms of the overall, you know, health of the pond for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, this is, I mean,
That's
this is
it.
what, we got into this a few years ago when one of these events happened, like, holy moly, we can't be having this. Well, but the good news, I mean, if there's any good news in all this, two more minutes on this. We do turbidity readings frequently, which is a measurement of how much floating particles are in the water, basically, or suspended particles.
Mm-hmm.
And that bad storm that I showed you the picture of, I didn't show you the third picture on that, I don't think. But anyway, that one, the turbidity readings coming off of Rock House, they have a discharge pipe and the new work that Conway did. A discharge pipe from the mountainside and a discharge pipe from the sumps that Conway put in. The Conway sump water was clear coming out. So basically that's the water drops into those manhole covers and then it has to raise up to a certain level before it comes out,
Releases,
so that
yeah.
sediment stays down in there. That's the theory. Clear as a bell coming out. The turbidity reading of the water coming out of the Rock House side, it's a pipe below that, was a turbidity reading of 329. And to put that in perspective, drinking water is, they want it at a reading of 1. Health of the pond, normal pond should be 25 or less.
Jeez.
But the 329 coming down the hillside, by the time it got into that picture and out into the pond through the beaver dam, it was down to 143 that day.
Better, but still
Better,
not.
but over on our side, that same day, even though it looked really clear, it was 22.
Yeah.
But during all that, you know, out by what we call Turtle Rock, which is probably 200 feet off the beach, that day was 14, but normally it sits in the 1 to 2 range. So it's technically drinking water quality out there most of the time. So when we have the rain events like end of August 10th, there was 2 inches of rain overnight, but it was overnight. We had nothing came in little came in that day. So we need the gentle rains, not the violent rains.
Yes, which we're getting more and more of, so.
I'm gonna just, before I go, you can show you that one picture, because you'll be.
I think it's more of an overhead shot. I think I saw it on your site.
Have you sent
It's
the?
that same picture.
Yep,
Blown up.
That's the one I've
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
It's more of an overhead shot.
And you can
Wow.
see how
Yeah.
it filters
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Nope.
And I take siltation readings in this cove once a year, and it is building up. I mean, it's hard to measure, but it's building up. And,
Yeah.
and you can see how it filters out towards what would be Turtle Rock out in here. We call it Turtle, the big rock that's out there.
Yeah, I'm on your email distribution. That was the photo that
This
Shauna
is-
sent.
Yeah, I think this is on the website,
Yeah.
what was going on the website.
Yeah.
We have a website too, if you want to check
Yeah.
us out. So. All right, so
Pretty shocking
that's
when you
that.
see that.
All right?
Have you sent a copy of the preliminary report to the office for the commissioners to review?
Well, do you want to wait till the final ones? It was going to be next week, I think, the final one. This is a preliminary, but
Yeah.
we can send that, but I think the final one's due shortly. We can
Oh,
send it,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll have that.
Yeah, so if we can get a copy of that,
Yep.
that would be great.
Yeah, let's get a final instead of a draft.
So I think at this point, it would make sense if we made a motion to sign the intent to participate in this program.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
All in favor? Aye.
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 I'll be back here tonight doing the same thing for Madison.
No kidding, good for
But
you.
that's
Alright.
okay. It's
Okay.
gotta be done.
All right, thank you, Peter.
Beautiful.
All right. Do you want us to do this on
Letterhead.
district letterhead?
Yeah,
and
maybe you should.
Stuff
and then-
like that,
yeah.
so we'll sign the
It looks very
letter
official
out of
and-
session.
Okay,
Correct.
all right, thank you.
Okay,
And you'll
beautiful.
let us
That'd be
get
great.
into it,
Thank
all right.
you.
Great, thank
So-
you. Bye.
Take care.
Awesome.
Again, short and to the point.
Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is the administrator's report. And there's not much there?
Nothing?
Okay.
What, you wanna go over that loan stuff now?
What loan stuff?
The printout site?
We can do that now.
Yeah, that's under signature items.
Yeah. Okay, so right after that is signature items, and that's where this is gonna come up.
Northway Now account?
Yep.
Good. Okay,
So
it's not really much.
the first thing
It
here
says now count on it.
is the disposal agreement for Burn Drive. And
Yeah, so this is another item that's really for Jeff, and the DPW guys.
yeah, but
But you guys do need to
we
sign.
need to sign it.
Correct.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we sign the disposal agreement for putting leftover stuff from ditch work on the lot on Burn Drive, or actually the
I don't have
homeowner.
a number on Burn Drive, that's another thing I think that we need to,
We'll get it,
The address, Burn.
yeah.
yep,
So it's going from, right, okay, from our staging point on Burn Drive to this address, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
pretty much
that's
right directly across
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah, right.
So instead of going into the staging,
Yep.
they
Yeah.
just do it across
Correct.
bring it across the street to
Correct.
the property owner
Yep.
that is asking for more fill.
Gotcha.
All right,
excellent.
so that was a motion, so I said aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Sorry. I must have zoned there for a
I
moment.
know, see?
All right, so next is the new checking account.
This is the hookup account?
Yes,
The one that you just, yeah,
They've got.
and she sent over paperwork for signatures.
Good,
Yep,
okay.
We need all three of us to sign?
Yep.
Okay,
yeah.
So maybe you can sign it now, we can catch up with Mark later.
okay, so we'll make a motion that we sign the paperwork to set up the new hookup account.
Perfect.
Yep,
So that's what this Northway Now account is for.
A
Yeah.
second would be good.
Oh, I'll second that.
Thank you.
Now we can discuss it.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, this is the checking account
All right.
where we're gonna put the $10,000 deposits.
correct.
Right, okay, I was gonna say, for my own edification and for the public record, when we get a $10,000 deposit for a water hookup, that money is gonna go into this account.
Correct.
And the rationale being is that money doesn't belong to us until all services have been rendered and the hookup is complete.
Correct.
Okay,
And
Correct.
the cost of the hookup will be taken out of that account.
correct. So
Yes.
whoever does the,
Right,
yes. And
The
then,
hookup and the ditching and.
Correct.
and once the hookup is completed and all the bills have been paid, that will give us the amount that gets transferred into the capital reserve.
okay, so the net proceeds go to which capital reserve account?
Water assessment.
Water assessment.
No, that's the checking account.
that's the
Oh,
checking
no,
account.
so just water, just goes into the
We
water.
can figure that out
There
later,
is, there
right?
is, there's a name on it.
Yeah.
I don't have it with me at
Yeah,
the
that's
moment,
okay.
but there,
Yeah.
I know which one it is.
But we won't do that for each thing, we'll probably clean it out at the end of the year and, you know,
Yeah,
make a big deposit, okay. It's much cleaner this way, I mean,
It
I
is,
agree.
it is much cleaner, but.
I agree.
But again, I'm a little bit unclear. The net proceeds come out of this account and it goes into our water operating account or to its unassigned fund balance or what?
probably a capital reserve.
it's gonna go into
It
the
is
capital
a-
reserve for
Okay.
water.
Okay,
A savings account, in other words.
right.
Yeah.
And we have a capital reserve, it's just more of a generic, just specifically for the water system.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we actually have a few capital reserves for the water system.
Right,
there's a whole
but
list.
I get that, and that the problem with that is, or the issue with that is that they have, each capital reserve account has a specific reason for being, okay?
But the general one
The
doesn't.
general one is,
That's the
Water.
word I'm looking for, there's a general one.
yes,
With no specific reason, net proceeds will go into that.
yes.
Got
What
it.
is happy, we can,
And then we can make, you know, and from the capital reserves, moving forward, if we wanna fund a water project, we can set it up on the warrant to be taken from the capital reserves, so that it doesn't hit the water bill, it doesn't hit taxes or anything like that. You know, so it just gives us a little more leeway when we're setting up the
Yep,
warrant for future years as to how much
Yeah.
we wanna spend.
makes sense to me now, okay.
Yes.
Hopefully it makes sense to everyone else too, okay.
And it is nice when we have the capital reserve money available so that we don't have to raise the water bills or things like that moving forward. It's gonna go up a little anyway. But, you know,
good
Okay.
to have that savings.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, to have that savings amount already set aside.
Okay, so have you signed the signature card?
Not yet, but we will,
Yeah,
Okay. I can pick it up at the office later then.
okay?
I'm gonna need the check anyways.
yeah, this check's for you to sign and
Yeah.
whatnot here as well.
Okay.
Alright.
Now
So-
you wanna go over the loan stuff?
Yes, please.
Go over the what?
I sent you printouts last week. You asked for an amortization schedule.
Yep,
Right, for the big water,
Right.
the one that we pay big bucks on.
So one of these, documents is the amortization schedule. I put tank loan on
yes, you
tank
did.
loan one and
Yep.
a truck loan on the truck one.
Yep,
Anyway,
2019, yep, Ram.
so, here's this is the amortization schedule.
Yep,
It's gonna mature in 33.
9 years?
2033. This was a kind of a weird loan.
Is this the tank?
Yeah,
We took it out for 15 years, and we had a, I think maybe $250,000 line of credit. But for the first 3 years, they allowed us just to draw on the funds to get our projects done.
mhm,
So when we stopped drawing the funds, it was turned into a regular principal and interest monthly payment.
I see.
loan,
mhm,
Which is what you have here.
right,
Right, but when I read the terms of it, it wasn't like a regular amortization schedule where because of the variable interest rate.
Well, it's not variable anymore.
No,
Oh.
it
I
turned
asked that
into,
question.
yeah.
Nice, so it's on a fixed interest rate?
It's on a fixed interest rate, it's rather high, in my opinion, but it's 4.7.
Of course,
Yike.
and money was a lot cheaper back in the 2018 timeframe, but I guess since we took it out as a line of credit to begin with.
right,
Right, and that's not what the interest rate was probably assigned when it went to a regular.
It shifted, yeah, and the interest rate were higher,
yeah.
all right,
And
I
when the
see.
drawdown was done, that's when the interest
yeah.
got set, and,
But on the nice side, that means we can plan knowing the exact amounts of principal and interest we are going to be paying going forward to 2033. It's going to be the same throughout.
Correct,
yes,
correct.
yes, so it
And-
becomes a budget item moving forward.
Yeah.
Which
And-
makes budgeting much easier.
And
Yes.
this comes out of the water budget,
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
the water assessment.
understand.
yeah,
So,
which is good.
helps
Which
with
is
our
very good.
taxes a little bit.
Thank you, Dinah.
No problem. So, then there's a tank loan, this is what they call the inquiry screen for the whole loan. So for the tank loan, that's where I got you the interest rates.
Yeah,
The maturity date is 2033,
yeah.
and anything else you'd like to garner from that? It's 2 payments
A year.
a year.
Mm-hmm,
I originally set that up since we get 2 tax checks, seem to make sense.
That made a lot of sense, yeah.
right,
So anyway, so that's the tank loan. And I also did an inquiry for the 19 Ram truck loan.
mm-hmm,
This is again, the interest information. We're paying 2.22 interest on this.
much better.
Cheap money, yep.
And the last payment's going to happen in January.
Of 2025. Excellent.
Yes.
As we start looking forward to new trucks.
Yeah, so it'll be a budget item for next year, on the warrant, because everything ends December 31st at midnight,
Right.
January 1st.
I see.
So it will be in next year's budget, and then we'll be happy to be able to say, and this is the last one.
Final payment in January.
Final
right?
payment.
Yeah.
January 15th, 2025, yep.
Okay.
So, that's your loan information, and
Thank you.
if you get anything else, the only other loan we have now is the bond payment, which is a total mystery to me, so,
Mm-hmm,
The bond payment for,
Reiner.
Rhinedock.
okay. All right, we'll figure
There's
that
an
out later.
amortization schedule for that too, which we just sort of pay them what they tell us we have to pay them.
Didn't we recently pay that?
Yep, I think so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so the amortization schedule was for the tank loan.
Yep,
Then there's a note payable still for the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then a bond payment for, that was part of that whole
The
Rhinedock project?
Rhinedock, yep,
Okay,
the truck will be gone in January and
Yeah,
we'll still
that-
have the
that's-
tank loan.
that's small potatoes, not too worried about that.
right.
Rhinedock, okay, so I need to understand that more. May I bring up another subject with you?
Absolutely.
The credit card, to shift all our payment, vendor and supplier payables
I
that
have the
need to be
application,
paid.
we have to send it, I'll send it in this week.
Okay,
Sure.
because we're still using the debit card, and because of what happened to us, we're thinking credit card will be much safer.
I agree.
Yes, and then with the credit card, we get to see the charges better,
We
you
get
know?
to, we get to see them before we
Well,
actually
well,
pay them, yes.
Yes,
We'll get a
yes,
monthly bill.
yes, we'll get a monthly bill and pay it that way.
Right, I'm very uncomfortable with monies being withdrawn using a debit before we even really know about it. We see it, I get it.
Right,
But it's
right,
already,
and-
but it's already happened.
Correct, but it's,
Yeah.
right now it's the way it's set up and that's not gonna get
It's a
changed.
legacy item.
Everything is, including me.
No, you're part of our good legacy.
So, I'm gonna go if you don't have any other questions. I'm kind of on a tight schedule today. if
We
you don't
have
mind.
signatures unless you wanted to come to the office.
Oh, those are checks?
Yes,
Sign this, well, I'll do that. Keeping in mind you have to do it.
okay. So then you can put our John Hancock on things and we can move to commissioners' reports. Mark is not here today, and that means, what is up?
Okay, I pretty much talked about the PRV and how that's all closed out, so I don't need to bring that up, that's been discussed. And this is more of just another PSA to let people know in Eidelweiss that the EPOA is doing another ice cream social this Saturday evening. Starts around 7, I believe, but double check me on that. But also with regard to EPOA, there's not a lot of EPOA members going to be available to help with that ice cream social. I'll be helping, Carrie will be helping, and anybody else who might be available.
It's occurring this week?
It's occurring this coming Saturday.
Oh,
Okay, it's up at the Summit. Always a great place in the evening to have an ice cream social, so everyone's invited. But I also want to put out there that the EPOA would really, really like to get some new volunteers to help, and it's not a major time commitment. It's just, as they say, many hands make for light work, and that your members of EPOA are not expected to help out at every single event, only those events that they're available. But the more members we have, the more hands we'll have, so it's, just like to put that out there,
Starts at
please.
7, Laura?
I'm pretty sure, it's 7, I believe.
That'll be on the post.
It'll be
sandwich
posted,
board.
yeah, on the board by the Hutwell parking lot and mailboxes. But,
Okay.
if you're around, come, it's always a good time to get some good ice cream and meet your neighbors.
Okay, so here's the check for Dawson.
Yep, and that's the original account you said the funds should be coming out of.
I didn't know we had checks for that.
Neither did I. Because somebody was writing checks off them and I was determined to find them and I did.
Well, I just didn't think we did.
They were in an envelope that was,
We weren't
we
planning
thought
on
we,
using a lot of
exactly,
these.
so I
Right.
think the plan was, yeah. But it was there, and it's still active.
Okay.
Yep.
It's always good when it comes out of the right account.
Right, which reminds me on another note, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
That's fine.
there was a previous payment made to Dawson that should have actually come out of this account as well.
Can you
But
set up a
it came out
transfer?
of- I will have to do
Was
a
that
transfer.
That would be great.
38,000 or something in that neighborhood?
Yes,
Yeah,
Make sure-
that was,
Make sure we didn't do a transfer already.
we didn't.
Uh,
I checked yesterday just to be sure,
yeah.
so.
that
yeah.
was done during our troubled period.
It was, and,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was confusing for me, but,
And we had to get them paid off ASAP,
Yeah.
or we would have been charged in
Right.
late
Right.
fees,
yep,
which
There's the-
they originally did tack on, but
20th.
understood our situation and took off.
Okay.
All right, sorry about that.
So we'll expect that transfer.
Yep.
Next week.
Yep,
So which is the count this is coming out of?
it's called
The project.
Water Project 2020.
This was an account that was set up when we got the bond,
Right.
because we were going to get a lot of bond money and a lot of bond, they were reimbursing us as we went along. And I thought it would be easier just to keep everything out of a project account when we did that. So that's why we set it up.
Yep.
And this was specifically for the Riggy PRV pit project?
The whole riggy thing, the tank, the, everything.
Okay.
We got reimbursed along the way as we got things done.
Okay.
So, with this check coming out of it, I think we can probably have a warrant article to put that in a capital reserve at the end of the year, because there's gonna be money left over.
There is gonna be money left over. Not a lot, but there will be.
So wait a minute, are you saying the grant monies we received for that exceeded the actual cost of the entire project?
Oh, God, no.
I didn't think
have no
so.
idea on that.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
just sort of the end of it.
Yeah.
We used 20,000 out of our capital reserve as well.
I see, okay.
So, which we were supposed to do with the original documents, but anyway, it's
Right.
bridge over troubled waters.
Oh, yes,
Okay,
yes
so
indeed.
Funds from
Yeah,
project.
there should be approximately 15,000 left over.
Okay.
Just nothing to sneeze at.
No.
Pretty good.
To
Well, you
see
can
our-
decide maybe, well,
What?
got plenty of time to decide where it goes. Cause like payment comes out of our, well, we'll talk
Yeah.
Don't confuse me anymore.
about it. Shuffling accounts like a shuffle.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Okay. So did you have anything else?
Did I have anything else? No.
Okay,
All right,
so
you're up.
driveways. And letters.
Yep.
So the first one is 48 Eidelweiss Way. It's a letter to the property owner to mitigate water before it gets to class 5 Appenvale Way. Did you get a chance to read the draft?
I did. In my mind, which
I have a
property is
copy
that?
of it
Is that the
here if you
one
need it.
just up from 13 Tussis?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yep.
Okay, were you okay with the draft?
Yes, mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna make a motion that we sign the
just
letter
need to sign
to
one time.
the property owner of
I'll find
48 Eidelweiss Way.
I'll second that.
Okay? Aye?
Aye.
All right. The next one is 5 Grimsell. We went out, we did the inspection. It has been properly marked for where it should be.
Should be.
Where the driveway should be. So there was a letter to accept the marks where they, you know, the new marking.
Gonna move over the driveway, yep.
Where it was. Did you have any issues with the draft?
None.
That was
Okay, good.
Fairly standard, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion that we sign, the letter to the owner of 5 Grimsell.
I'll second that.
Obsession.
Okay? Aye,
Aye.
Great,
and yes, and these will all be signed out of session.
yeah.
Good catch.
Hmm.
13 Thusis. Same area, and again, there's water coming from that property that's coming down and threatening Appenvale Way, again, the
Yeah,
class 5.
This is
road.
approximately the third letter we're sending to
Yes,
these
but
owners.
ultimately, it's affecting where Tussis and Edelboden come together, which are is a class 6 roads.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but the water is also coming down from Thusis towards Appenvale Way, and it's Appenvale Way we're protecting.
Yeah, and that's a class 5.
Yeah, the class 5 road.
Mhm.
Were you okay with that?
Yes,
draft?
yes, I was.
All right,
Great.
so I don't think we did this yet, so make a motion that we sign the letter to the property owners of 13 Thusis.
Aye, I'll second that.
Okay, aye?
Aye.
2-0. And the last letter is 21 St. Moritz for putting stuff in the ditch line. Yard debris.
Yep, I was good with that, yep.
Okay, so make a motion that we sign the letter to the property owner of 21 St. Moritz.
Okay, so you're advising 10 days. If we mail this letter, it's gonna take approximately a week for them to receive it and acknowledge it.
Okay, we want to increase that?
I would.
All right,
What do we have?
recommendation? Do we want to do the standard 30?
30 days.
The 30 days
I
we've done
agree.
on everybody?
All right, great.
All right, so we'll fix that to 30?
Beautiful, thank you. Yeah, because by the time they acknowledge, it's
So
already
30 days from date of
passed.
letter.
Yes.
Correct.
Right, okay, so if it takes a week, then they still have got over 3 weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
Okay,
Amendment,
so we'll say aye.
Aye.
All right.
beautiful.
And there's one property on Grisson that we did not get a chance to look at last week when we were looking at driveways.
I see.
So I don't know what your schedule's like, if you get a chance, if we want, you know, when we want to set up to view this property.
I can do it this afternoon if you want.
I can
Or
do it this
Do
afternoon.
you want to wait till Mark's available? Or
Either
just you and
or.
me?
We can do it.
I mean, I'll do it this afternoon, not
Yeah.
a problem.
All right.
How about, I don't know, 2:30?
2:30 it worked perfect for me.
Okay, so you're gonna essentially recess,
Yep.
okay.
For a driveway inspection at 2:30.
What's
Do we
the,
know the number on Grisson? Sorry,
yeah, I need to
didn't know
know.
if you wanted to.
Which side of the road break is it on? Is it toward 113 or the other dead end coming in from Aspen?
16.
Okay, thank you.
So it'll be the 113 side.
113 side, okay.
2:30.
And obviously I'll keep that
Yep,
Okay. And that was all I had.
okay.
I got one more thing.
Okay?
Jeff isn't here, but maybe you've heard as to any updated news on the grader?
Not that I'm aware of.
So he's not here, but yes, Friday I spoke with him, and I inquired about the grader, because we've been getting calls, and the grader is greatly needed. He was hoping it was gonna be this week, Tuesday or Wednesday, which is today or tomorrow. That's the last he had heard, but he's not here, so I don't know what arrangements he's made with Tony on that end of it, so.
Yeah, because well, Jeff isn't here, but if it's coming this week, we want Tony available to take receipt of it. 'Cause I imagine he's gonna wanna do an inspection.
Right, we actually had it towed, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had it towed.
No, I get that, but somebody's gotta be here to take receipt of it,
Right,
and that's gonna be Tony if it comes this week.
right.
So we're gonna need a heads up from what's the name of the company that's doing the work on the grader again? Is that
Chadwick and
Chadwick and,
Barras.
They had called, but it was only for parts, so, nothing about
Nothing about
grader.
delivery date. Okay,
And that was yesterday, so.
all right.
Well-
So if we do get
Correct.
something from them for the delivery date,
Yep.
then we can certainly get in touch with Tony and see
Yeah,
if they have a plan.
which I'm sure they do.
Oh, I'm sure they do too. That just doesn't mean that we all know it
Correct.
yet.
well, I don't wanna assume anything, cause I think sometimes we've seen in the past that some company was delivering something of ours, and they just assumed that the DPW people would be there to take receipt of it, and they weren't, because they didn't give us a heads up that they were coming that particular day at that particular time, and nobody at DPW knew, and it was one of those, like I said, we can't assume anything.
Yeah,
We need
I
to
don't know
know
anything about that.
Date and time they expect to deliver it, so that we can set up our people, and they'll be there.
Yeah.
Especially for something as important as the grader.
Yeah, because we will have to contact Bob Bryant to get it picked up and brought to us.
Okay, so he's the towing company?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the towing company for heavy equipment.
Okay,
They're one of the only ones that
we'll do that.
can take things that size.
Okay, okay.
It's,
All right.
it's not the same type of AAA,
Yeah.
for your car.
Again, it's just want all lines of communication open, everybody knows what's going on, everybody's on the same page,
Yep,
and nothing falls between the cracks.
okay. No correspondence. We had the scheduled,
Mhm.
and now there's no other,
No,
no one else?
nobody else is around.
No? Any comments?
I don't live here.
That's good. All right. We're not gonna do a non-public session.
No.
We don't have any reason for that today.
Yep,
Okay. So the only thing we have left is the dates.
yep,
Have you gotten in touch with Linda for the change
yep,
to Wednesday?
correct.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, so I think we're ready.
All right, so we're
So
recessing.
we're gonna recess this meeting so that we can see the property at 16 Grissom this afternoon at 2 p.m.
2:30.
2:30
Oh.
PM, yep.
2:30.
Oh, okay. I'd be sitting around there going, what? Okay,
Okay,
and if that's that, then make a motion that we recess
beautiful.
until 2:30 this afternoon to look at driveways.
I will second that.
Okay,
Aye,
Aye.
all right.
thank you.